so we're going to throw some spouts. So this is where the single grab that I do, that first pull, is going to make things a lot easier if you can learn it. So we're going to open up. You don't really care about the bottom because it gets cut off. And we're pushing right towards the center line. And if you're trying to do that from the side, it's much more difficult. Okay, so I've got it almost done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to define, I'm pushing this up here so I know where my bottom is and where my edge is. So I now have an edge to start from so I can see everything. I'm going to thin it down. I don't want too much texture on the inside either because that's going to affect the pour. Hone it in. Don't want it too thick on the top because when I'm going to cut the top, I mean obviously there's different ways of dealing with the top. I could throw it round and then leave it complete, you know, or if you're going to do a cut through it, whatever, you know, you could do just a round teapot, round like that, or cut in. I tend to like to cut in a bit, so you don't want that too thick or it's going to look too chunky, right, when you do your cut through. So we're looking for just a little bit of flare out.
So you don't trim that pouring lip after a lot of the spout's been...
Yeah, oh yeah. So what, I'm flaring it out a bit, but what you definitely don't want the bugle mouth teapot. You know, you've seen them everywhere. They make the teapot that's got the big bugle mouth. If you want something to dribble, that's about a license to do it. So what I'm looking for is just enough curve out that when my spout comes off the bottom, it's just going to give a bit of a nice curve. The top part I'm cutting away so that if you really want to get it to pour nice, you want to take those throwing ribs out. You want as little interference with the pour as possible, so the inside's nice and smooth. If you're having trouble coning it in too, you can always use a stick on the inside and grab it like that. That works well. On the end, you want it reasonably sharp on the end, but you don't want it so... Now, two ways. You can cut it right now on the wheel, cut a bit of an angle, and then kind of clean it up exactly the way you need it later, or you can just cut it and set it aside. Just do that. Get a few of them made. So I'm going to pull the handle right off the pot. start with a basic shape, okay?
Where do you want it?
So what I did is I cut it a bit like that, so that will give, when I attach the handle, rather than just butt welding it flat like that, by cutting it like this, it will give me the extra clay that I need without having to attach wedges or anything in.
Do you do them all like that? Like, do you do mug handles like that?
Yeah. But it's small. So you want to do as much blending as you can now at this point. And this being such a nice smooth clay, it's not too difficult. See, this is stiff enough to take it. I've definitely got, that's longer than it needs to be. So right now I'm just thinning it down. And then, so what I'll do is, I'm trying to thin it down, and I'll run a strip down the middle and then pull it over. So there'll kind of be 1, 2, 3 bands. And then the other thing you want to think about is you sort of want the volume on the handle to be to the outside, rather than doing it with your thumb and sucking it in so it's concave. A lot of times you see the pulled handle and it goes in, and it sort of pulls the volume out of the handle. So now I got most of the shape. Boy, that's squeeze right in there in a tough spot. Okay, and you can actually go to the back too once you start to get your shape, and come around to the back and put a little bit of volume in it from the back. So you see how I run my thumb down the back, and that just pushes it out. It's a tough squeeze in there. So all that gook, we're gonna just leave it for now. If you try and mush it all out now, you're gonna ruin a lot of the wetness of it. So I want to get that angle and height just about right. Okay, I'm attaching it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of put my thumb there and attach around it, and see how that just keeps it from sucking in. Set it on there, and then you can kind of look at it. See that we're about right. If I need more, I can still give myself a bit more. I'll leave it. Okay, so we'll let that set up. It's probably it's a bit chunky for my taste in the top. That was really a tight squeeze. Again, that shape kind of makes it a little difficult to squeeze